Hello, and welcome to Retirement Ain't Easy. I've now completed my first week of retirement. If you've followed this channel for the first week, you know that I posted a video of my last day of work in which I drove in and I sat in my office and did the last final things on my last day of work. So I thought I would create a video to provide some questions on who I am, what I did. I'll basically answer the simple questions: who, what, where, when, why, and even how. I think we'll see. I'm going to try and keep these videos short and try to do them once a week, usually on Mondays. And I'm going to cover a broad range of stuff on how retirement's going for me and what I do with some of my hobbies that I have, and how I'm filling my time now that I don't have a 8 to 5 job. So first off, who am I? My name is Chuck, and you may have seen me go by the term Ozone Ferd. That's F-E-R-D. That's a nickname from my high school years that I'm not really going to get into. Or most recently, or most commonly, I'm known as Papa. I have a grandson. I'm a son, a brother, a husband, a father, and a grandfather. I'm 62 years old as of this video date. I'm now retired, 1 week retired in 2024. And besides this YouTube channel, I have a blog and I have an Instagram account. And I'll link those below if you're even interested in that. So what was I before I retired? Well, I have a computer engineering or computer science, as they used to call it back in the day, a bachelor's degree from the University of Southern Mississippi, Southern Miss to the top. I've been a software developer, a group manager, a department manager, a project manager, a director of project managers, a director of service delivery, a director of customer support, and a director of supply and logistics. I've been managing up to 80 people at one time in a department to a group of 4 people. I finished my career as a director of customer support for the company I work for, and also supply and logistics, which if you watched my video, previous video, which I'll link below, you'll see I was supply and logistics there. The building was basically a warehouse where we also had our customer support department. So where am I? I am in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I live in a suburb of Dallas, and I've worked in another suburb of Dallas. I've lived in the Dallas Metroplex for 39 years, actually, since this video is being posted in January. We got our first apartment in January 1985. Started my first job here in Dallas in February 1985. So I retired on December 29, 2023, the last working day of December. And you can see that, of course, in the video I recorded of myself getting up, going into work, eating lunch, etc. On that day. So probably the biggest question is, why did I retire? Because I had a really good job, have really good pay, really good benefits. So I got this question for the last three months of the year last year. Why are you retiring? You're a manager. You do this. You've got a nice job, and so there are three things that come to mind on why I retired. And basically the first one was I was tired of working for other people. I got tired of being bossed around. I guess it comes a time in your life or an age in your life when you just get tired of being bossed around. It's a small reason, but it's one of the top 3. Number 2 was the commute. The commute was just sucking my soul. Every day driving on the Dallas roadways from one suburb to another It's about 23 miles, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but I was traveling a number of tollways, two tollways, three tollways actually. I get off on to get to work at a decent time. And on good days, traffic moves. For instance, that video of my last day of work, that was holiday traffic. There was hardly anything on the roads. I got to work within 23 minutes, I think. But on a normal day, normal traffic, with the normal choke points that I had to go through every day, it was probably a 30 to 35-minute drive, one way. And it took about 2 gallons of gas, because it's my truck was getting probably 13 miles to the gallon, let's say 2 gallons of gas, and going through a number of toll booths that equated to about $4 just to drive to work. So 2 gallons of gas, let's say that's $4.50, and $4 for tolls. It's about $8.50 one way for me to go to work. $17 a day just to go to and from work. But that's in and of itself. The commute was the hardest every day, 30 to 35 minutes. And if it rained, like it's raining today, as I record this, it would probably take 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, to get to work, just to go 23, 25 miles. It was very frustrating. So that was number two. Probably the biggest reason, though, for my retirement was mortality. I'm 62 years old. I worked with a buddy who was a year younger than me, and I had known him, 35 years or so. I played softball with him at our previous company we both worked at. Played softball with him on the company softball team. Knew him all these years. I think my little brother at one time worked for him. But I knew this guy, and he had taken over. He was a project manager, and he had taken over my job as the manager of the project managers. And he would always come into my office, and we'd always discuss retirement and what did we need to retire. And he would come in some days, and he'd have a frustrating morning, and he would say, I just need $100,000 more, and I can retire. And we'd always kind of keep a countdown. And then he'd come in, I just need one more year. And I would tell him too. I said, you know what? Looking at my stuff, I think I need one more year as well. So we would go on and on about that. So in 2022, he came off the road. He traveled a bunch for his project management role, and he was not feeling too good. And I remember this was in October, early October time frame, and he had come off the road. He came into work. It was a Tuesday, I believe, or Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. Was not looking very well, and so he had finally decided to go see the doctor, and he left that afternoon to go see his doctor, and we never saw him again. From what I heard, the doctor examined him and put him into the hospital immediately, and this was October, and then in November we found out he had passed away from cancer, colon cancer. And so we also realized that he wasn't a big fan of doctors, so he never got a colonoscopy. So if you are 50, at least 50 years old, and you haven't had a colonoscopy, shame on you. You need to go get a colonoscopy. If he'd have had a colonoscopy, things probably would have been caught early and taken care of, and he would still be with us. He passed away in November. I think right around Thanksgiving time, or early December. And it's sad that just going to the doctor for a periodic checkup, a physical every year, a colonoscopy every 3 to 5 years, probably could have stopped that. So that's reason number three. That his death in 2022 really slapped me. And I started thinking, wow, I'm wasting my time doing this job here. It's not It's not fun so much. It's not challenging. I want to do my own thing again. I want to be my own boss again. So in 2023, I guess halfway through 2023, I started running the numbers. I started creating spreadsheets, and I started watching some YouTube guys. You know, Joe Kuhn, I think is his name. Azul, um, Steve's Corner. I started watching these guys and seeing you can retire early, you can retire this, here's how to do this. And I ran the spreadsheet numbers, and I talked to the wife, and we talked, and she knew how frustrated it was because, you know, I would come home from a drive from work, and I would be in a really crappy mood. The guys at work, I would drive to work, and the commute would put me in a really crappy mood. And the guys at work knew it too. It got to the point where they would always save me the front parking space by the door just to try and improve my mood. So talking to the wife, everything was great. Numbers looked good, so I put in my retirement notice. And like I said, based on those three items, and with really my buddy passing away, always saying he needed just one more year, just one more year. Well, he didn't get that one more year. So the last question, how has my first week of retirement been? Well, that's a good question because it's been an adjustment. I guess is the easiest way to put it. You know, you watch a lot of videos of other guys, you know, their first year of retirement. I know Steve's Retirement Corner has covered a lot of these topics. It's an adjustment. I mean, I remember every Sunday night, a certain level of anxiety would come because I had to prepare for the week. You know, what's coming on the week. What do I got to do this week coming up, or even every night. You know, I had to watch. You know, check my phone. Oh, I better get to bed. I got to get up at a certain time. Go do this, and so those habits that I've been doing for years have been hard to break, and I'm working through them. Like today, I think I always have to check what day is it because you know my sister-in-law's husband told me he's retired. He told me, you know, every day feels like a Saturday now, and he's right. It does feel like a Saturday. So I have to check the calendar or check my phone and say, oh, it's Monday. I don't got to go to work. I can stay up and watch an extra hour of whatever show I want to watch or whatever hobby I'm working on. I can stay up an extra hour. I can sleep till 9 instead of 7:30, and get up and take it easy in the morning, slow. I'm on my second cup of coffee. And just do whatever. And so that has been an adjustment this first week. I know last Monday was New Year's Day, so there was no one at work. But on Tuesday, the following day, I got a couple of a couple of texts from one of my guys that work for me, asking me some questions. You know, and I kind of filled him in. He said, "I'm sorry to bother you," and I said, "You know, that's okay." But you know, Tuesday had those. Wednesday had another text from him about another question, and then after that, nothing. Haven't heard anything. I don't know. I guess that's a good thing for me, because you know, a lot of times, especially that last week, that Tuesday, Wednesday, I was like, "Oh crap, I forgot to send this email." Well, I don't have access to any of my accounts anymore, so I can't do anything. And then finally, my mind kicks in and says, "It's not your problem anymore. They're grown adults. They can deal with it on their own." So that's where we are as far as how my first week has been. Like I said, I started this channel to kind of keep myself busy and talk about things I do, my hobbies, how retirement's going for me. I'm sure the next video will be planning to do what has led up to this as far as preparing for retirement. So if you watched to the end of this video, I thank you. If you think you want to see more of me, please like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to get more into my hobbies that I do, um, trips that we have, some trips planned, and just general ideas of the state of the world. So, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next Monday. Thanks.